we did a review of the first 50 episodes of Bleach. Now I'm up to like I don't know, like 180. I didn't watch the BOUNT arc because everybody just said not to. So yeah, I didn't. I skipped it, went straight into the I guess it's called the Ronka arc or the Espada arc. I don't know.
Yeah, you can generalize it as that because that's what they are. So yeah, you can just say that spot. Everyone would understand what you mean when you say that.
Yeah. So what do I think about Bleach so far? So far from the last time we talked, I remember the last thing I think I spoke about was them trying to save Rukia. Yeah, they ended up saving her with an ass pull, in my opinion. I definitely think Ichigo should have lost to her brother. That's just me. Just because like her brother's power is like broken. Like you know what I mean?
The scatter, the Senbon Zakuda.
It's broken. Like the way they explained it, it was kind of broken. But somehow, with the power of friendship, he
Common theme.
yeah, he beat that nigga's ass. So that's like seven niggas Ichigo beat in a row.
It's crazy because like there's always that theme in anime that the character is actually stronger than how he is, and like it takes something really like serious to happen for him to pull it out of his ass. I,
Yeah, I don't. Well, that wasn't the first time we seen him with the mask on, right? That wasn't. We've seen him before with him with like the mask on. Um, I don't know how to like. I'm so like just to continue on so far. I don't really know how to feel towards the series. Like, I mean, like I'm enjoying what I'm watching. Like, I'm interested to find out more, obviously, but I feel like I just feel like they're. It feels like they're always explaining something new, which obviously they gonna do that. But one of the things that didn't really make sense to me was when they sent them to the human world, the captains. They
Mhm.
had uh, wait, is Rukia a captain or no? I don't think so, right?
Rukia is not a captain. I think she was a lieutenant for Byakuya's group.
Right, so I don't know if they explained it that well, but it seemed like they all had like a power dampener,
Hmm.
and that felt like an ass pull to me. Like, you know what I mean? I don't know why. It just really felt like, oh, we
Uh,
were,
the fact that they can't use their full power when they want to, they have to ask for permission.
yeah,
I know
like
exactly what you're talking about, but they only applied that like they only applied that scenario one time, and then after when like everything started getting serious, you never see them actually call in or request for a power up. You know what I mean? I think they just like I think after the first time of them requesting, yo, can I go full out? Um, I guess they just assumed that the Soul Society just assumed that they could just keep on using their full power because they're in an environment where it requires all that. But I think the only reason why they have that safety measure in the beginning is to show that like, yo, we can't have these Soul Reapers going all full out on the city like that because their power can be destructive and dangerous.
um, yeah. Uh, so I don't know. I still don't really have a favorite main character, like a favorite character.
Damn, that's crazy. It's a lot of
Yeah,
episodes too.
I mean like I don't know. It, it I really can't explain it. It just takes more than because it's an old show, so I don't really expect it to be super heavy on character development. I just know like it's a long show, so obviously the characters will develop eventually. But with a lot of the character development that I've seen so far were just a lot of it was a lot of um just power up more than the character development. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. The show is really fast paced, and I feel like what it does is that it jumps into like action scene to villain, and then it jumps like to the next villain. It doesn't really go on. It goes on like, oh, this person's training to get stronger to beat this other villain. It doesn't really go in depth about the person's like past too much. Too so. I mean, the only person that I can really think of that they dive into their past a lot more is Chad. They talk about Chad and how he met Ichigo, but it didn't really go in depth on his character. It just showed how him and Ichigo became friends.
Yeah.
Or like Rukia just tells her that she's. I think Rukia probably has a lot of character development compared to a lot of people. I mean, it talks about her how.
Luca and the other dude that she grew up with.
Yeah, yeah. But like, I don't feel like it's much. It's just like a quick flashback on what's going on in the series, and then why that applies to their character a little bit, and then they just go on to the fighting. I know what you mean.
I
Like,
think I'm looking at it from a future point of view, like because that's kind of how anime is nowadays. Like so it's like the show is old, so like I don't know what I'm expecting out of the show, but um, I'm trying to see like
like if you compare it to Edge Runners, right? Edge Runner does both, where like it the character development is happening presently as the show goes on. It's not about a flashback. It's not about like, oh, what happened to his past. It's about what's happening to him now in the present, which makes him change as a character. Where Bleach always just talks about the past, and the main character doesn't really change, or the other side characters don't really change that much.
yeah, I mean I wouldn't call character development like um I don't know the fucking redhead chick. I don't know, I forgot her name. Um, with the shit on her hair. Out of Yumi.
Are you-
I,
are
w-
you-
I wouldn't say yeah. I wouldn't say character development is her being not like brave now. Like like her being ready, willing to fight. I don't really feel like
are you talking Order Hime?
yeah, what a human.
Oh yeah, I would. Yeah, I would say like. I mean, she didn't really change. It's just she always wanted to be able to fight. It's just that like she just finally got the right people around her to train her. You know what I mean? She didn't really change as an individual. She was always this brave human being who wanted to protect others. You know what I mean? I don't think that's the thing about it. They don't show someone being some like a coward and wanted to like change. There's no real change other than the fact that she has the right surroundings around her to make her stronger. Versus because if she didn't have like Yoruichi or Uruhara to train her,
Yeah.
she still would have been useless regardless. But she still would be trying to fight. I think character like development it requires like something happens to the character that makes them really really want to change, and it kind of changes the character's personality to some extent. And
Yeah.
that doesn't really happen in Bleach like that.
I mean, the only thing that happened like that is just whenever Ichigo loses, he wants to win. Like
But that's always him though, right?
Yeah.
Like when he loses, he's like, "Oh damn, I want to get better." That was like the first season, so it's like he didn't really change much other than just getting stronger.
So, I the one thing like I feel like I'll never fully like agree with or like fully comprehend is like the power scaling. Um, so the fact that Ichigo trained up a couple of captains, right? It just I just don't know like, and then the way they talk about the Iran card is kind of like, could they actually defeat them? And then on like that's what was making me doubt like them when they started fighting. I was like, could they actually defeat them? Like majority of them, they were actually like fucking up the Soul Reapers, and then out of nowhere they're like, oh, we weren't even using our full power, and that's when it feels like ass pulls to me, like or like that's when it feels like unearned, like an unearned victory.
I see what you're saying, yeah.
But like and stuff like that just makes it harder for me to like. How can I root for Ichigo knowing that he's kind of already OP? You know,
OP, yeah, yeah. I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying. I mean,
and like there's no techniques like Naruto. You know, it's really it's majority of him is just him swinging his sword. Like yeah, it does look good, but that's what it is. Like there's no like from what I have seen I haven't seen any like oh this is like let me think about a way to defeat him because I can't just beat him off of pure strength.
yeah, yeah, that is true, and that's why I wish when I was watching the show that they applied. I don't know if you recognize that they do this Hado 24 Hado, like they have like these magic.
Those things are really cool. I feel like, but I know that I could just tell they're never gonna bring that shit up.
That's what I was saying. They should have incorporated that more into the show.
Like
And I was
techniques
sick.
and shit. Yeah.
And I was sick that they weren't doing that. And there's a show that takes place in it's called The Witcher or something like that, like Witcher something. It's part of the Bleach world, where they focus kind of more on that, but they don't really say the Hado thing. But I wish they incorporated. I was like, don't bring something into the show and then not use it that much. You know what I mean? All they use is either like two spells, and then they'll use like either the Shikai or like the Bankai, and then that's it. Which kind of pissed me off because like because if you hear some of them, there's like 99 of those spells, bro. At least because I've heard them say number 94, like number 99. I'm like, so there's mad of them shits that they can easily put into the show, but they just choose not to.
Yeah, and then you know, even I guess so our Aron cars are hollows who've been manipulated enough to like take off the mask or something to break them like
So they're hollows that have consumed enough human life to gain intelligence. So essentially, like they became their spiritual pressure became so strong. From what I understand, from when I watched it, their spiritual pressure became so strong that they became more of a conscious beings. Like they're able to be more intelligent than all the other hollows.
Okay, so there's that, right?
Mm-hmm.
How the fuck did they get Zanpakuto toes and Bankais?
I think that comes on later on in the show.
Okay, I guess that's. Yeah. I think I still. It's not like I'm shitting on the show. Like I think it's cool. I think Iran cars are cool. I think the fact that they have Zanpakuto, I think that's pretty cool. I think the fact that their Bankai is like they're like them going demon form, that's pretty cool too. But it feels like they have swords for no reason. Like they have Zanpakutos for no reason. Just from what I'm seeing, like from the few fights I saw, like niggas wasn't even using swords until like the end. Like he got like the big dude was fighting your favorite character, the bald nigga. And he whipped out his sword last minute because he almost cut him. And he's like, oh shit, let me use my sword now. But then 5 seconds later, he's like, fuck it. Bankai.
You talking about the Ikaku fight?
Yeah.
That shit was fire. I feel like Ikaku's fire, bro. But like, I feel like a lot of the shows, bro. Like, I be seeing the characters have like ill ass transformations, and it's like, yo, how could they progress from there, bro? They just plateau. That's the only thing that I hate about the show too. Is I feel like some characters just plateau and they can't really be helpful in fights after a while.
But yeah, so far I'm enjoying it. I guess it's something to watch. I'm really pushing forward just to get to like the newer seasons, but even then, just kind of like my motivation for watching the show is decreasing. It's not because the show's bad. It's just kind of like my interest of the plot of where it's going, of where the characters are going, is decreasing.
Yeah.
But Yeah, I'm still excited. I want to know more about Aizen and them. You know what I mean? Uh, I know, I know. I've seen the Grimjow and Ichigo fight, like when they were really banging in the
Hmm.
desert and shit. I seen that fight, so I know that's just gonna go hard.
Hmm.
And that other nigga, the Vegeta slash Frieza looking nigga, you know what I'm talking about. The wrong car.
Is it Uehara?
I don't know
Is
his
it
name.
is it four? Is it the guy with
He's
the
the small one. He was just like he was like,
black
yo,
hair,
yeah.
blue eyes, kind of?
Yeah, I know that nigga's a demon.
Oh yeah, he's a force. Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. So I'm at like 180. How much? There's 500 episodes in this show.
I don't recall, but I think that sounds about right. It's a lot of episodes, man.
Yeah, yeah, it is. I hope I finish it. I mean, but who knows? That's just kind of how life works, you know. Um, I'm gonna try to though. I'm gonna try to. I haven't watched an episode in like a week or two, but I'm gonna get on it just so we can keep these reviews up because I feel like people are gonna watch it and just think I'm hating, but I'm watching it from a different perspective. Even though I'm a fan of anime, I'm not an anime fan, so I'm not just gonna blindly just enjoy the show for what it is. Like when I eventually watch One Piece, I'm gonna critique it as well. Just like you know what I mean. It's kind of like this is like if I rewatch Dragon Ball Z, I know I'd see a whole bunch of shit I didn't like, or you know what I mean. Like I'm not gonna just say like this is like oh this is a top tier show. It's like from what I've seen, it's good. Like it's I could see why people really liked it, especially if you've been watching it for years.
Hmm.
Like, you know what I mean? But watching it in a short span, you see a lot of the flaws. Like you see, like shit moving way too fast. Like there was now it's making sense why fucking that Goku and Frieza fight was 7 episodes. Like you know what I mean? It's like
Yeah.
that. It impacts. It's more impactful. Like it's more like you might because within a fight one person might be losing then it might switch to the other person losing like that back and forth is really great when it comes to action just because you want to have a sense of danger a sense of like oh shit this nigga might lose.
And that's the thing too. I remember in the past, I used to complain how animes used to draw out fights a lot, and ever since like this kind of new day and age anime has come out, like when we used to watch like we still watch My Hero Academia, but that whole Stain fight was like so quick. I was like, yo,
Reality yeah, it was quick. It was quick.
that was that was only like 10 minutes, bro. Like the overhaul fight so fast. Every scene was just like a flashback, and then we'll see a little bit of action that was obviously fire, but it's like, yo, I want more. And then now I regret like, saying like, man, I wish they would just hurry up with the fights and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. um
I feel like it is important.
it is and um it it makes you yeah it makes you want to keep watching like the only thing that's making me keep watching is like the prospect of the future of what's gonna happen versus like me like fucking with Ichigo like or
Hmm.
like Yuki or any other character. Like I really don't have a favorite character. I really just like
And you touched on something very important about animes that like they really got to touch on like making the character like kind of grow now in the present rather than just show us the past history of the character.
yeah. I mean that's one of the reasons why like I'm a fan of that only when it's like in a time skip. Like when you do a time skip, there's a reason for having flashbacks and like explaining how we got to this point versus the where it's like majority of things the majority of the character development is the person thinking about something that they did in the past and then interpreting it now. That makes sense.
Like every time I think of like a show that we watch like that's not considered really anime, like Avatar for instance, you kind of
Right.
see Aang, you see Aang change like every season. Like he comes to this like little boy child to, oh, I need to focus on being the avatar, to I need to focus on my bonds with my friends, and why is this important as a human being, and philosophy on why you should keep people like at peace and equal and at bay versus like, and then he goes to a whole fucking vengeful side, you know what I mean? Like sometimes he falters back and then he gets snapped back into reality because a certain event happens. Like we need more of that in anime, I feel like.
Yeah, I mean, Avatar. That's the thing. It's like Avatar is inspired by anime, and that's why I feel like it can escape all of the traps that anime puts itself in.
And I don't want to. I know I said it's like a definitive thing that's like always happening in anime. There are shows that do that, but like I want it to be more frequent. You know what I mean? I want it to always be like incorporated into shows, so that way like you can have a better connection with the character. Because I feel like just making the person some angry kind of high school teen that's like, oh, I have to beat the next guy, and then I have to beat the next guy, versus him like actually like hearing his psyche and hearing more about like how he changes as a human being versus than like, oh, I have to become stronger to protect my friends. Like, okay, we already know that, man.
Yeah. I think it's like I said, it was inspired by anime. That's why it can maneuver a way out of its pitfalls. And same with Cyberpunk, like a lot of the things that are like you could be inspired by things and use the positives and not use any of the pros, like you know what I mean with that. Yeah, but overall, it's good. I don't know what I rated the last video, but so far I would give it like a 6, 7, 6, 7.
I'll give that one honestly an 8 because that was my favorite arc.
I'm not done with the arc yet, so
Yeah.
but just from where I ended to now.
From what you've seen so far, I would give it a 7.
Yeah, I mean, but yeah.
Because you ended off the first Grimjow fight.
Yeah. I'm still pretty early in, and like I know there's like different alarm cars and shit. Like so yeah, I know it gets more deeper, and I do want. I hope I finish it so I can hop on to the 1,000-year war or blood war arc or whatever. I heard it was good.
You know, it's kind of funny though. Like, I feel like because you seen Yami number 10, the bald dude that chills with the round cars. He's mad cocky and he gets folded every single time. Bro. Like he gets his arm hurt or something.
Yeah. He got his ass blasted. Yeah. But yeah. We'll keep watching. Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I got, man.
Alright, guys.
Glamour of wearing diamonds.
Diamonds bring
Status.
elegance and prestige. Their brilliance makes
Brilliance.